Hello. We're back at it on the monk. This is part 2 of the monk journey. So, I guess where we left off, I was not a Windwalker, but now I am a Windwalker. Also, I'm trying out a new microphone, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, here we have it. We are Windwalker now, so what's changed is not much. I did get to play a lot of Mistweaver in Arena. Can't believe I have so many games to play already. But I think I played mostly Windwalker at some point. I played Mistweaver in all content, though not all levels of difficulty. And I've played Windwalker in, I guess I haven't done LFR as Windwalker. So I'm DPS and Raid. The Venthyr has been pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, like, so the Fallen Monks are okay, but like when they're out, I feel pressure as a DPS, and I haven't been able to test them in PvE much as Mistweaver because I haven't been playing Mistweaver. I wasn't having that much fun. The reason I wasn't having fun with Mistweaver is because beam healing is so broken. Like, it's not fun to spam beam. Like, it's at some point I'm exhausted doing it. So, anyways, I went Venthyr Windwalker, and I was originally Nadja, but I'm now Draven for PvP. It gives like damage reduction basically, which is pretty nice. The only downside is you get horrible conduits. Excuse me. So I'm not really sure that I have the right conduits in. I can't be fucked to care about this game that much to get all the insane conduits, but yeah, it's whatever. Not the point. Point is just this is where we're at. I got all PvP gear because it really sucks. I finally hit Renown 59. That was nice. It took forever because I reset. The legendary, I'm actually just only using Cephas. I tried a couple legendaries. I guess I haven't. Oh, here they are. It's just this one. And then didn't I have this wind one? Oh, this is this wind one. So I've tried this wind one and the Tiger's Palm one. Let's see here. So I've tried this one and this one. Both have been exceedingly mediocre. I have seen that this is a PvE one, so in raid parsing, I mean, you literally can't use Cephas, but for PvP, I've actually found Cephas really good. Assuming you don't kick before the 30 seconds is up, you can get a really nice situation where you press leg sweep, pop Serenity, and hit a stun kick, and the stun will proc your Cephas, so you basically are using it like a mini badge. Essentially, that's how I've been using it, and it also gives you the CC direction. I feel like this is really good. It's the best one I've seen. Keep bumping into this microphone. I don't even know if it does anything. I finally got Echo of Anar from my priest. He hit Revered somehow, like a while ago. I didn't even know. So I did want to use this one on like all characters because I'm just so disappointed with a lot of the legendary choices. I feel like they're just so bad, honestly. Because this one is good, but what happens is, wait, my microphone went too loud there? Hello, hello. Yeah, it actually went into the red there. Now that's really weird. I have not, like, encountered that before. I'm used to having, like, a quiet mic. Maybe I should, like, turn myself down or something. That's pretty weird. Yeah, but basically, like, any haste buff in the game is like, it's just bad because you have to press more keys. So if you get versatility or mastery, certain characters' mastery is way better. You're basically just getting a flat damage increase, and same for crit when it procs. But haste is only set in the game where you as a player actually have to make use of the haste in order to gain the benefit. So you get 33% haste, which is like insane. It's tons. And you can use the conduit, this one, to reduce your Zwen cooldown. Might change this out because I don't really care that much about Zwen anymore, but basically, yeah, it's like, it's crazy as fuck basically, but what happens is when you actually use it, the haste is so high, like anything else in the game, you're having to do your rotation insanely fast in order to keep up with it. So it's basically not really a stat increase unless you play the game, and you know, you can 100% do that, but for me, my fingers hurt. My fingers have hurt playing this game since Mists of Pandaria, basically. I played a warrior in Mists of Pandaria, and my overpower, when they added like the double overpower, the way the overpower was working as opposed to Cataclysm, where it was kind of spaced out, it was like really spammy. It was like Mortal Strike overpower slam, Mortal Strike overpower slam. Just literally broke my fingers. I used to mouse scroll. I'm back on mouse scroll these days, but then at that point I had to change my whole key bindings to like become better for my hands because my hands hurt so much. I'm experiencing that in BFA. Shadowlands. It started in BFA. That's why. And I had to rework keybinds again and change abilities around. Legion was okay, especially Legion Monk. When I played some Legion Monk, it was good. And Legion Warrior was weird, but I didn't encounter this problem. But BFA, now Shadowlands, I've been encountering this issue basically, where I just did a Mog run, so I gotta get rid of that. Basically, yeah, you have to spam insanely hard, and it hurts your fucking fingers. Like, the rotations are spammy, the moves are spammy. You need to do a lot of the moves to get the effect. They do like low damage, but they're very important. You know, Tiger's Palm literally does absolutely no damage, but it is the most important move in your kicks, only way to generate chi, which means you have to Tiger's Palm every single chance that you get. I'm currently running Fist of the White Tiger to help with it. I was running Ascension, but that is just a nightmare for your fingers. I don't even like Fist of the White Tiger, but Ascension is just that crazy for my fingers. So the haste buff, basically, at this point in the game, like any ability modifier or anything that makes me have to press more buttons, is just, I'm avoiding it at all costs. Like, that's just how I'm playing the game. So the haste buff, definitely good. It has some issues in PvP, like getting CC'd on it, obviously, but 20 seconds is a long time for a haste buff, so it's definitely good. But for me, and the way I'm playing the game and how much my hands hurt, I want to avoid all haste buffs, and I just want to focus on crit mastery and versatility. Anyway, yeah, and then the Skyreach, there's this thing, insanely broken if you're like a mastermind. It is so painful to pull this off. I need like a week or to track my uptime because the buff on my character frames is so small on the enemy. It's a debuff on the enemy, it's not a buff on you. But you can Tiger's Palm hit it, but like you're Tiger's Palming so much, like it's just the mental capacity you need to kind of break the flow of the character is so tiring. I had to get off it. It just didn't make sense for me to use, and the gap closing aspect was not enough to entice me to have this pseudo RNG, because it is RNG proc in the sense that after your first proc, you don't have nearly as much control because you're just playing the game like normally. And also, if you go for the Tiger's Palm and you get CC'd, you wait another minute. It's just like the whole playstyle is so weird. 6 seconds is not a big window. You only get like 3 moves maximum in it, and you can't combine it with the haste buff because they're both legendary. So there's no, like, if you could combine it with a haste buff, I feel like, and you can get more things off in the window, I feel like it'd be better. Maybe if it was like a 30-second cooldown and it was a lower crit chance, it would be more playable. Maybe if it had a longer duration. But the way it is right now, it's just completely overpowered if you hit it in the window, and if you don't hit it in the window, it is useless, and the window is very frustrating to pull off in PvP. PvE, probably more mathematical. I haven't had a good test. I haven't been playing Windwalker in PvE. So, but I would imagine, you know, maybe you can math it out, but then at that point you might as well just play the Zwen one because you have this like synergy with the conduit on the Zwen, and haste is already good for Windwalker because you get your Fist of Fury to cool down faster. Anyway, not the point. So I've just been running Cephas, and I have been stacking. I mean, you can't really stack in this game. This one, I made the Cephas for Mistweaver, so I had Mastery because I was stacking Mastery on Mistweaver. But the Windwalker, I think crit is probably the best stat. I'm not really sure, to be honest, besides versatility for PvP. And I think versatility is probably the best in PvE as well, because this happened in late BFA. Players started rocking Avoidance and Versatility in order to tank higher end Mythic Plus, because the damage was so high. So I think something similar is probably optimal in Shadowlands. Obviously I don't know the math, but it's probably the case that these stats, these PvP stats, are really good. The problem is that PvP gear scales up in PvP, which means in PvE it's really low item level. So if you can get versatility off of, I don't even know if you can get it off pieces, honestly I haven't looked. Like, yeah, you can. So probably versatility in PvE, but I've been running crit. I feel like crit, especially in PvP. I mean, this says haste. Yeah, I should probably swap that out because I bought gear for Mistweaver originally, which I will give my opinion on Mistweaver. But yeah, basically, I think crit is a strat because when you crit on Windwalker, you basically end the game. Like, you just win. So that's just how it is. Like, if you get a big crit, you get them in touch death range, they die. So I feel like crit is like the one win condition in PvP that you have. Haste is probably better for PvE because you get more Fist of Furies off, and the Fist of Fury channels fast, which means you don't have to like worry about, you know, positioning, and it kind of speeds up game. You already have enough damage. You're not really, there's no real crit breakpoints like in PvP. Crits are kind of like, can get people, that you can take a whole HP bar, you know? Like in PvE, the HP bars are so big that crit becomes a lot less useful. It just becomes a damage modifier. It's not actually like a mechanic. You know, in PvP, a crit is a mechanic. That's why it's kind of nerfed. I think it's like 75% crit damage or something like that. Because crits can change the outcome of the game, basically, whereas in PvE, that doesn't really happen as much. So, yeah, I think crit is probably the best. So haste, but it's because you have 1.0 GCD on Mistweaver or whatever. Like, you don't need haste for GCD, so that loses a lot of value in my opinion. Anyway, not the point. Point is, I've been rocking the Windwalker. It's been going pretty good, but Shadowlands has definitely been a major like content drought for me. I really feel like I've just been doing gold raid stuff. I've been farming mogs. I've been getting achievements. Apparently I have Torghast achievements. I never had the Of the Jungle title. I got that recently, just playing with monk. So it's just like, yeah. It fucking sucks though, because I really want to like, you know what I want is like they tease 9.15 new talents. I want new talents. These talents suck. Inner Strength sucks. Good Karma I run really woke. Ring of Peace is probably better, but I like playing Good Karma. It kind of tricks people up. Tiger's List is okay. Fist of the White Tiger tier is meh. The first tier is just shit, and like, yeah, I don't know, like, basically the Inner Strength tier, the Dance of Chi-Ji tier, the Good Karma tier are just weird. I don't know, but it's worse on Priest, it's worse on a lot of their characters. Basically, like, new talents, new ways to play. Like, I want new ways to play the game, new characters. So, anyway, I will talk about Mistweaver a bit. I did get to play some Mistweaver in arenas, and I think it was pretty good, but it wasn't very fun, like I said earlier, because of the beam healing. The beam healing was very frustrating, and it was very weak. In PvP, you really need to be able to react to burst damage, and having to put the beam on people first before you heal them is inherently slow. It's a whole global slow. All of your healing is then kind of based around the fact that you're using this global that's worthless before you do anything. And no other healer works like that except maybe Resto Druid, where they have to like put hots up and then Swift Mend. So that's kind of similar, but basically your healing output is high, but you need one global to do it, and so in PvP it's just inherently a bad mechanic. It doesn't save people, doesn't protect people when they need it most. So you'll have all this passive healing, and it'll be very powerful, and you'll probably oob people. That's what I was doing, basically. Like, the mana efficiency is really high on Mistweaver, but, you know, and the defensive cooldowns are good, even though they're long, but the problem is that the inherent mechanic of healing is just so easy to, you know, fuck up, basically. Like, you can just drop people, like, straight up. And I talked about that in my other video a bit, but it's, you know, playing twos, it was really frustrating. The CC is mediocre. I do run Ring of Peace on Mistweaver, extra defensive, you know, stopping polys and protecting myself from melees who are really strong. But yeah, it's just, I just don't think the character belongs in a PvP setting with the way that it heals. Now the other mechanics are good. Touch of Death is really good. Stun, Paralyze is good, or Paralyze Stun. Roll when you're kicked is great. And even like Dove is like a great PvP cooldown, but the base Soothing Mist playstyle is really weak. So that just makes the character really mid-tier in my opinion. It doesn't make it really that good. Even though the healing output is insane and the mana efficiency is insane. In PvE, it's a similar story. It's not fun, but I definitely think Mistweaver is ridiculously good. I mean, I did do some LFR to get legendaries, and I did, what was it? Sludge Fist. On Sludge Fist, my revival was so insane. Like when you have this telegraph burst damage on the raid, I think when Mistweaver becomes insane. Essence Font and revival are just such insane cooldowns for AoE. Essence Font's not really a cooldown, but you could probably run the Essence Font talent for Sludge Fist, and that would be crazy in my opinion. That would be so powerful. You can just solo heal that phase most likely, because these cooldowns are so powerful. So I think Mistweaver is definitely a lot better in raid environments. I'm not sure about dungeons. Anyway, when it comes to Windwalker, let me just wrap this up really quick because I didn't mean for this to take so long. But when it comes to Windwalker in PvP, it has insanely high damage and kill potential, almost some of the best in the entire game. It's really fucking OP, but it's really, really squishy. Its defensive cooldowns are completely lacking. Karma is weak. I've been killed through Karma a million times. They don't even have to buff Karma or anything anymore. You can literally just kill monks through it if you have enough damage. And you know, the punishment just does not fit the crime. And then you just have like Fort Brew, and then, you know, I run Inner Strength, but, you know, obviously these are very mediocre. I mean, if Diffuse is maybe a minute cooldown, probably better. Damn Harm is just so mediocre. It's crazy. Damn Harm is definitely good against wizards, but, you know, it does nothing against melees except for get rid of Shackle. So not a good talent. And Inner Strength is also really bad. If you ever get stunned, it just falls off, and if you get out of combat or run away, it also falls off. So very inconsistent, though. I like playing with it. Yeah, so basically, even though Monk is like this insane, I mean, I don't know if people have seen the clips, but, you know, Monks are one-shotting people with Dance of Chi-Ji on Serenity or clones. I've seen it happen both. And yeah, basically, even though it has this crazy one-shot potential, it can also just get totally one-shot. It makes it really difficult to play and annoying to play. It has situations where it's very brain dead and a free win, and then it has situations where you feel like you can't do anything. Specifically, I've run into Frost Mages are really hard, and BM Hunters, like Survival Hunters, are really hard when they're kiting because they're just doing so much damage to me. Both of those classes, Frost Mage and Hunter, and I have no uptime against those characters, or like very low. Even though I can kill them, Mage not as much, but Hunter for sure I can kill them in theory. It's just so difficult. Warrior has like defensive stance, you know. Paladin has heals. Death Knight has Death Strike when they get to you, and Rogue has lockdown. Monk is like, you know, and then the DH can actually keep up with you, and they can run a Glaive Throw slow if they need it. So it's like Monk is the only melee that really can be kited currently. Seriously, I guess there's Enhanced Shaman as well. Maybe I haven't really played that, so maybe that's a rough matchup too. But even though I have like roots and stuff, it's just, I feel like right now in the meta it's just not enough. It doesn't get me through. So, but yeah, otherwise it's definitely one of the better characters I've played so far. All the characters I play are pretty weak. Arms Warrior has been horrible. I'm randomly killing people, but I feel so useless most of my games. Definitely not a fun character to play. But anyways, yeah, that's where we're at with the Monk. I appreciate anybody who is keeping up with this for some unseeable reason. And I don't know if I'll make any more, but, you know, if the journey keeps going, the journey keeps going. So if something happens, then a video will come out. Right now I'm kind of stagnant. Don't really have much to do, not really like enjoying myself. But, you know, gotta make an update because we went Windwalker, so that's an update. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully this mic works, and I'll catch you guys later.